Hey guys, it's your girl Miss G, and you know what time it is. It's G time. It's time to get up, get active, and get it together. My purpose is to give advice, encourage change, and empower success. The goal is for us to grow, elevate, and excel. Everyday action is required for change, and you have the power to create change. It is March, and March is Women's History Month. In this month, we set aside this time to honor women's contributions in American history. In honor of women's history, we here at Miss G Talk would like to honor and celebrate women all across the world. In the words of Harriet Tubman, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Today, in honor of Women's History Month, I would like to highlight, spotlight, and share with you an amazing, talented, intelligent, strong Black woman. There's not much that I can't say about this woman. She has been here from the beginning. I have watched her grow. She has helped me grow, not just helping me climb the ladder, but at times holding my ladder, right there with me, encouraging me every step of the way. And it is my honor to give a spotlight to not just my cousin in love, but my friend, Brandy Williams Murdoch. Hey, Brandy.
Hey, Cuzzo, how are you? I'm so grateful to be here. What an amazing introduction. Wow, that's me. That's you.
That is you. Man, there isn't much that you are not doing and not much that you haven't done, and you continue to still break barriers, defeat the odds and still continue to climb on top of all that you do. That is amazing. And there's so many women, so many little girls, so many, everybody just watching you and saying, wow, if Brandy can do it, I can do it. You have really shown that to not just your kids, but so many of our children as well.
Well, I appreciate that. What's so funny when you were there's a couple things that you said in the beginning that stood out to me. And it was Harriet Tubman's statement that says, dreams are given to the dreamer. Mm-hmm. And I immediately thought, never stop dreaming, which is such a powerful statement. And as you were talking, I thought about a friend of mine who does a podcast similar to how you do. And she's such a dynamic person. And I just responded on one of her posts on Instagram and said, you're so amazing, sis. And she said, I'm only a reflection of what you see in me, in yourself.
Right.
And as you were talking, I was just thinking that I'm only a reflection, Crystal, of what you see in yourself when you speak about me, because of who you are and how you've grown. And I heard you talk about how you've seen my growth in life, but wow, just to see your growth in life is such a wonderful thing to be on the front seat. And even with us being so far away from each other, it's great to still be able to do that. Social media, thank you very much, right?
Yes.
It's a gift and a gift. I don't really like to use the word curse, but we all know that sometimes we spend too much time on social media than we should.
Absolutely.
But it really is a gift, especially when our loved ones are a little further away than we're accustomed to them being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So when I talk about the things that you are doing and the things that you have done, I mean, it's so hard to just sum up what you're doing, right? In a sentence. You are a mother, right? Which in itself is just a whole job. Right? Yeah. I know that you are recently widowed, which is also very difficult, and you're raising your kids by yourself. I know you have a support system. I know you have a team you wear many hats, right? And so just to point out a few: entrepreneur, realtor. I know you have a double master's degree, right?
A bachelor's. I actually have a triple master's degree. Triple bachelor's degree. Yes. What it was I was so close to getting all of them at the time. Although I graduated in a short amount of time, I just got them all at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Bilingual.
I am, yes.
I have seen you when you are doing your campaign. I love watching you do it in English and in Spanish. I'm sitting here on my side like, go ahead. So could you introduce yourself to our listeners, someone who may not know you, and just give them a little bit about who Brandy Williams Murdoch is?
Yesterday I was thinking about like my why, because if you don't have a why in life, then you don't know what your what is, right?
Yeah.
My soul is anchored in God. I'm really anchored in Him. It's so important to me to have a relationship with Him and to talk to Him about whatever move I make and what I do, because if it's not for Him, then why do we really do it? Because I truly believe in life that everybody has purpose. A lot of times people think that their purpose is attached to a thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I work for the phone company, which is not a bad thing. It's just that they think that that's what they're attached to doing. Oh, right. What do you do? I am a doctor. Oh, what do you do? I am a lawyer. Oh, what do you do? I am a teacher. Shout out to my cousin. I am a therapist. Shout out to you. They think that it's attached to a thing. However, I like to think of what I do being attached to a purpose.
Absolutely.
And so when I was sitting and I was talking to God, and I really sat and I had a conversation with God, and I said, God, what is my purpose? Like, why is it that I'm in the political realm? Or why? I was really talking to Him about the political realm because it's coming up time and I have a decision to make. And it's like, why do you have this yearning and desire to run again? Because you've got to have a reason why. And mm-hmm. So this is going to connect to introducing myself. Mm-hmm. And so as I was talking to Him, I realized that who Brandy is I have a mantra for myself. So when I talk to God, what He revealed to me is that I am a connector. Mm. And what I've learned in my life is so much of what I have done is connected people. And I love doing that. Like, if you call me, I'm going to be able to connect you with anybody for anything, for any reason, right? Whether it's if you want to buy a house, I can connect you with that. If you need documents notarized, I can connect you for that. If you speak a different language, meaning Spanish, I can connect you with that. Wanting change in my city and seeing it being done a different way. It's not about how I think I can do it differently. Mm-hmm. It's how do I connect my city to different people and different resources so that we grow and we change and we become better. And that's how I connect them. So it's this yearning inside of me to intertwine people with their purpose and other people's purpose so that we all become better. And there is this plaque that I have in my house, and I really like this plaque. And it says, I am more convinced that God's people need never to live at the mercy of a job or a person. And to do that, we must have a major mental shift from working a job to owning multiple streams of income. Mm-hmm. And I believe when you live in your purpose, then it's no longer attached to a job, but it's attached to why you're here and what it is that you truly do that God has designed for you to do. I just believe that He's done that for me. So when people say, okay, who are you? Right? On surface level, you're right. I'm a mom. I am a widow who God has taken very great care of. I pray every morning that I am a new wife. I am a great mom. I am a great daughter. I'm a great sister. I'm a great aunt, friend, confidant. I'm someone that connects people on a daily basis to whatever it is God's purpose is for me. And then when we talk about on a grander scheme, who also can get you a house, right?
Right.
Who also can, who also is in the political world and looks for political action, right? And who has run campaigns and who was once a teacher, right? I taught in the Los Angeles Unified School District. I taught banking and finance, and I taught culinary arts. So there's so many facets to my life.
Yes.
And I have a mantra that I wrote for my life. I am inspiring and encouraging people to live their best life while living my best life in the now, and dreaming big dreams.
Love it.
So that's who I am.
I love that. And, I do ask that question at the same time, understanding how hard that question is to answer. Mm-hmm. There are many times people will ask me, oh, what do you do? And I feel like a deer caught in the headlights, and I'm just kind of stuck. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, well, which answer do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want like me to give you a one-word answer, or do you have time?
Yeah.
Because it can't just be summed up in this, right?
Yeah.
I do a lot because, again, my purpose, I believe, is to be a helper.
Uh-huh.
And God has created me to be a helper in so many different areas. Uh-huh. And so I totally get that. And I think that is so important for people to understand, because when you are living in your purpose, that's not an easy question to answer. Mm-hmm. It's not a one-word answer.
Absolutely.
If you ask me that, you must really want to sit down and get to know me.
Right. It's a loaded question.
Right. It's not just a hi.
It's a loaded question. It's a loaded question. And there's so many facets of it, right? There's so much that comes along with it. Is the shedding that comes along with it. There's stages that comes along with learning who you are. And it's diving deep to really get to that. And you change along the way, right? The person that I was when I was 9, although my mom always teases that I took checks to my school and was writing checks to kids and saying, hey, you get I have a business and you
I can see that.
And I write you a check, and the principal called my mom and said, hey, do you know your daughter's down here writing checks to people?
I can definitely see you doing that.
That I was when I was 9, on surface, underneath purpose-wise, it was there. But it was different from when it was when I was 20 to when I was 30 to now. It changes, and it changes based upon life experience, and how deep the deeper you go, the places you go with God. For
absolutely,
me.
Absolutely. Yeah. What does Women's History Month mean to you, and who are some women who have inspired you along the way?
What is so amazing for me is that we so Women's History Month follows Black History Month, and we all I think if you're Black, and so we're Black. We live it every day of our lives, and so we've always been conscious about Black History Month and what Black History Month means to us, because it's such a short month that we get, and we get to recognize who we are where we genuinely aren't celebrated. So I have, if I'm honest, and I want to be honest and transparent, I've always had such a huge focus on Black History Month that the focus has never really shifted to Women's Month for me, right? And it wasn't until recently that I've also, in tandem, looked at Women's History Month as well, and the power in it. And what it has come to mean to me is the strength as well of not just being a Black person, but a Black woman. Right? And the strength of a woman, and the gift that God has given us to be able to birth. And birth doesn't just mean birth like life as in children, which is great. I am so grateful to have my children. That's one of the greatest blessings and gifts God has given me. I love my children. When I think about my children, I smile. But it's just the even the metaphoric level of birthing. There's so much that comes from women in general, right? We birth visions. We birth nations.
Right.
We birth dreams. We birth homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure you've seen the meme, or it's not even a meme, but there's a phrase that says, if you give a woman a house, she'll make it a home. And so what Women's Month to me is this an opportunity to stop and realize how powerful we are as beings.
Yes.
Here in the world, and not just in the world, in the universe. You know, it's so funny that people tease, but it's really true. You know, when God created the world, he said, it is good with everything else. And with the man, and man, we love you. I love men very dearly. But it's the only thing he went back to and said, hey, I got to do something else for you. Mm-hmm. And he created the woman, and it wasn't that the man wasn't good. It was that he needed someone to help him along the journey. Absolutely. And that says something. And when we embrace our power and we embrace our femininity that God has blessed us with and that he's given us, we can go so extremely far. And it's inside of us. A lot of people call it intuition. Some people like to call it the spirit. Some people like to call it their third eye. But whatever you want to call it, it is that one thing that speaks to you. And man, sorry, but you don't have this thing that we have. It's why when you watch the kids, it's a different watching the kids than women have. But it's that one thing, right? It's like, hey, what y'all doing in there? Women just distinctly know, hey, you over there, you on the left corner, on the left side, grabbing stuff, put that back. Right?
I can tell you right now what they're doing.
Right now, you know, right? And damn, he probably even think about that. He focused on the recording while you focus on the recording and focus on that. And no shade, it just is something different inside of women. Right. And so it makes you think about, as you birth that and as you look at your purpose and how you come into your being, wow, the shoulders that I get to stand on.
Man.
Of those women who did those same things. Yep. And how far they went in that journey and passed the baton to me. Mm-hmm. I can only take it further so that I get to pass it to my daughter. And not just my daughter, but so many other women that come along with her. I have a duty. Yeah. I have a duty and I have a responsibility. So Women's Month, History Month has really made me conscious about that. And not that I didn't already know it, but I get to really celebrate it. And it's a great feeling.
That's great. Same. I agree with you. For some reason, this year, when I saw Women's History Month, it wasn't that I didn't know there was a month. I just never really stopped and thought about it and really celebrated in this way. So, you know, right now, it was already March when I was like, oh, shoot, I should have been on this. Mm-hmm. And the thing was, it wasn't like, oh, I'll just wait till next year. Oh, okay, I'll just do it now. Because there's so many great things that women do. And there's so many great contributions that women bring. And so just the little bit that I can do to share and inspire and really kind of highlight and spotlight just in this 30 days, which should be a whole year, I'm going to do. And so I agree with you.
Yeah.
What has been your driving force? Your motivation for success?
You know, my true motivation for success, and this may go beyond like popular belief or whatever, because some people are like, oh, my children, all that. And it is that. But it's deeper for me, and I don't want to be all spiritual, like, woo. Uh-huh. But when I leave here, I want to have left here empty.
Okay.
Like when I go and when it's all the chips have fallen, so one thing we know is that we get to transcend, right? Mm-hmm. Wherever people think they go, I think I go to heaven. I would like to believe that I left a true legacy, because we know that we only get a short period of time to be here. I always say you can live 120 years and that's still a short time, especially because as you look back on your life, you're like, oh my gosh, those years passed so quickly.
So quick.
But my driving force is that I really want my legacy to live beyond me, and not for selfish reasons. I wanted to live beyond me for my children and their children. Mm-hmm. I want to have left some jewels and dropped some gems for people to where they're like, oh my gosh, she really left something that I can use in my life that will help take me further, that I'm grateful for. And when I transcend, I really want God to say, well done, Brandy. Right. Like, you did every single thing that I purposed and designed for you to do. Everything that it was that you were supposed to do, you did it. And I wanted to come the day where I'm excited about that transition, because I left here, that, leave with no regrets. I often laugh because a lot of people, they have these bucket lists. Mm-hmm. And I tease about the fact that, so I'll give you an example. Like, my children and I, we love to travel. Mm-hmm. And when we went traveling this on our past vacation, my daughter, there was these cliffs that we jumped off of. And I know we're very adventurous. And so I started us off. So I jump off the cliff. Boom, I jump in the water. So there was a higher cliff. Oy. So my daughter goes, hey, Mom, I want to jump off of the higher cliff, She says, don't come jump with me. I said, baby, listen, Mommy doesn't want to jump off that higher cliff. I said, but here's the deal. You want to, because it's yearning. Like, you have this yearning, burning desire in you to jump off of it. Mm-hmm. Like, when I leave this place, I'm not going to say, darn it, I didn't jump off that higher cliff. It's going to bother me. But if you leave from here, it's going to toil in the back of your mind that I didn't jump off that higher cliff and I wanted to. So I'm going to stay right here with you, and I'm going to be right here and walk you through jumping off of the higher cliff. And I said, here's the deal. Yeah, you're going to have butterflies. It's going to be scary. It's going to, you're going to feel all the frills and thrills, but you want to do it. So go walk up to the higher cliff and I'll be right here to cheer you on. She goes, but Mom, like, I'm scared. I said, yeah, I know you are. You're very scared. She said, you don't want to do it? I said, nope, I have no desire. Nothing in me says go jump off the cliff. So she climbs up and she looks down and goes, oh my gosh. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but you got to do it because that's what you want to do.
Right.
And so she jumped off the cliff and she jumped in the water and she had this like fear in her face as she jumped. But when she got up, she goes, oh, I did it. She said, but I never want to do it again. I said, but here's the deal. You did it. And now you know the feeling, and you have the feeling of either I want to do it again or I never ever want to do it again. But you know what you wanted to do. And that's what I encourage people to do. Like, if you really want to do something, do it. But if you don't want to do something, don't do it. Because I think a lot of times people feel like there is this thing that they have to do because someone says they got to do it. No, you don't have to do it. I have no desire of jumping out of a plane, and I have no desire of bungee jumping. When I leave here, when it's time to go, I'm not going to have in the back of my mind, oh my gosh, I never bungee jumped. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, I didn't jump out of a plane. That's just not going to bother me. Same. But I will think I never got in a hot air balloon. And so that's what I'm going to do. So it's those things that drive me and push me to do things that I desire to do in life. And I encourage people to do the things that they want to do.
That is so good. Like, I don't think I could have explained it in that way. That is good.
Yeah.
Same. I don't have those desires, but there are things that I do desire to do, and I'm going to do them.
Yeah.
I love that. You have a saying, and you say all the time, I follow you on social media, and I always see you hashtag abundant living.
Yeah.
What does that mean, and how does it contribute to how you live your life, abundant living?
So abundant living is one of my is like it is. So people ask me what is my favorite word? My favorite word is the word serendipity, right?
Okay.
My favorite phrase is abundant living. And I hashtag that on everything, right? I hashtag it on if I'm cooking a meal. I hashtag it on if I've gone to someone's funeral service and they passed away. I hashtag it on if I'm taking my kids to school. I just wanted to give you the broad range and the broad spectrum of how I use the word abundant living. And people may go, give the face of like, why is she using that word and everything she does? And what I learned is how to be, and this is a phrase, a biblical phrase, how to be abound and how to be abased. Mm-hmm. And what that is learning how to, in your life, really celebrate the greatness and the goodness in whatever the situation is. Because what you'll learn in life is that it really does all work together for your good. Yep. If you learn that it works together for your good, right? But you get the opportunity to call it that. Right. And I am so determined and so convinced that I truly live this abundant life, and I have the power to say that I do so, that I will do it in everything that I experience. And so I speak that. I speak that over my life. I speak that over my children's life, and I'm already speaking it over my children's lives, that we live an abundant life. And what an abundant life means is that you get to live a life of joy, mm-hmm. a life that you want, a life that is fulfilling in whatever fulfilling means to you. Like fulfilling for me means a life that is enriched. And here's the deal, and this is what I'm learning as I mature in life. Some people are like, girl, you ain't that. Some people think I'm in my 20s, which is great. And I'm now, I used to not tell my age now. Heck, I just turned 40 and I don't care. I'm grateful. But what you'll learn on your journey is that sometimes God takes you to places of not being lonely, but being alone. Right. Sometimes God will take you to places of not silence, but quietness. Right. Right. And people often mistake that for bad times, but it's not. It's those intricate details that you get to go on the cocoon to become a butterfly. Absolutely. I watch little signs that are given to me, when I'm deepest in thought. And I don't know, moms out there, you probably can relate to the times you pull up in the driveway and you sit in your car for for me, sometimes it's 30 minutes, right. Some people 10 minutes, because it's the peace of mind we get before we get in the house and everything is, hey, hi, mom, it's tugging at you. Yep. I love that time in the car. And so sometimes you'll get those little signs, a butterfly will fly by, or for me, it may be like a dove, mm-hmm. or sometimes it's a crow, but it will be little things that give you indicators that you're on the right path, or certain thoughts are going to lead you to certain things, tap in or pull back from. And those will truly lead you to your purpose. And I am just determined to figure that out and unlock it so that I live a life that is not only fulfilling for me, but that I get to help my children live that is fulfilling for them. And if I leave the blueprint, right, And it's not just in me saying it, but it's
Right.
in being, right? A lot of times we think we need to do. And it's not do. If I can encourage you anything, you get more out of your rest periods than you will get out of your go periods.
Right.
And so when you need the rest, take the rest.
Take the rest.
And when
Absolutely.
you need to move, it'll be easier to move, right? Some people wonder why they're broken down and why they don't feel so well. It's because the rest periods they needed in between they didn't take. And so all of that compiled for me is what an abundant life is. And I just truly believe that I live that.
You are teaching somebody right now. And I'm hearing and listening, and I agree with you. Trust me, there were many times I didn't take the rest when he told me to take the rest, which meant I had to sit down a little bit longer because I really wasn't hearing him say, I need you to rest. And so, that time of isolation, not because I isolated myself, but I had to be isolated in order for me to get to the next step, in order for me to really get what God wanted for me. And, even in this time, I'm still in isolation. I'm still isolating because, I'm not where he wants me right now, but it's not my time either. And so I'm sitting and in that, reflecting, meditating, relaxing, praying, getting my energy up because I know when it is time, I'm going to need my energy.
And all of that is an abundant life. Right. All of it, because you're tapped in. Mm-hmm. Abundant living just means you're tapped in.
I love it. I love it. I have one more question for you. And that is, again, I'm sure along the way, there's been many lessons, many disappointments, struggles, obstacles. And I know that you've used another word. I just couldn't remember what you used. And so what I want to ask you is, how have you used those moments of highs and lows to keep yourself pushing forward?
Yeah. So right now, I know you asked me who I was earlier, and I didn't mention that I'm in the middle of creating a business.
Another.
And I chuckled and laughed about that because in me creating this business, with it being something new for me, I think about, oh wow, Brandy, like, so this is what we're doing. We're really doing this, huh? Like, it's really go time. And this business for me has been in the work for 4 years. Now for other people, it may have taken months. Although it takes months after they open their first one, but other people could have taken a couple years. For me, it's taken 4 years. Mm-hmm. And trust, if people are on here and they're business owners, they know that when you are opening a business, especially a business that is going to leave a legacy for your children and their children, there are highs and lows. However, what I have come to understand, and people have too, and when you hear me, you'll get it, is that if you give up in the low, oh my gosh, how frustrated you'll be because you didn't get to the high.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that the high is within whatever it is that you're doing. So for example, let's just say, like, I have a friend. I love talking about this friend. Okay. So I will always remember she had started this cigar bar. And when she wanted to have this cigar lounge, oh my gosh, her brother says you shouldn't start this cigar lounge. If they watch this, they probably don't know who I'm talking about. And I remember that one day I went down to her shop. It was me and her and another girl, and we was putting together furniture for the cigar lounge. Us girls putting together furniture. Girl, you're right. And if you know me, I'm really a girly girl. So Brandy putting together furniture, girl. I think we was just doing this to get together to talk. So we were putting together furniture, and she was saying her brother had an idea of it. She didn't want to go with that idea. She wanted to do something else. And now this friend of mine is just really, she's truly an entrepreneur. She was the kind of kid that would take candy to school and sell the candy. And so,
yes.
So she did it her way. And so the cigar lounge it didn't really take off the way she wanted it to take off.
Mm-hmm.
And so to some people it would look like failure, although to other people, to open-minded people, it looks like experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just remember her saying, it sat for a long time. It sat for a very long time. And so I remember her saying, "Ooh, girl." I have this vision board party I do every year. Everybody comes to my house. It's a big thing. We just finished our 8th annual one. People look forward to it. And so we put crazy visions on this vision board, like big things. People, they say they can't have babies. They have babies. Put businesses on there. Stuff happens. So she put on the vision board that she was going to open another business. It was going to be a barbecue restaurant.
Okay.
So some people would think, girl, you got this business over here that ain't really doing what you putting on this board, this other business. And she put the business on there and she proceeded to open this other business. And so while other people were thinking that this other thing is failure, and how could you dare go on to something different? It not only helped her, it catapulted her. That new business is now so huge. They just featured her for the LA Galaxy for Black History Month's Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yes.
Her business is booming. She can't keep up with it. She's working on a second location. Her story is phenomenal. And if she had stopped in that moment, right, where would she have gone? And I recall her saying, girl, I'm going to figure out how to sublease this place to somebody else. And now that's subleased to somebody else. So in that lesson is that you don't stop because something didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You figure out, how do I put the next foot forward? And so there's so many instances, if we look back on our lives, that we could have used things to help us just put the next foot forward. And so for me, what I've realized, and there's instances that I could use, that if we have thought about it, the moments that we do not sit back and that we keep putting our next foot forward are the moments that give us our greatest success stories. And if we can just see past that, and I tell people, listen, there is something profound in respecting the grief. Respect it. Get mad, get angry, cry, write a journal, go outside, take a walk, whatever you do, however you respect it, but just don't stay there.
Yes.
And when you get back up, press forward and get excited about what your next success story is. And that is how I've learned how to use my experiences that I didn't think favorable and help turn them into something that has always turned out for me to be success, because God's plans are always greater than mine. Always. His ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. Just keep going.
I love it. I have nothing else to say. I can't even add to it. It's great, just how it was. I hear it, receive it, and share it. Absolutely. Man, is there anything else that you want to say and add? I mean,
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. This was such a fun time. I could just sit and talk to you. What I do want to say, Crystal, is, and I want to scream it from the rooftops. I know I touched on this earlier, but people probably see you or hear you. But I speak continued success into your life, because when I say they see you or they hear you, meaning they see you where you are now. However, you have such a profound story in that you have always pushed. You have always spoke things into your life. You have you're the type of person that you want to be around. And you feel me when I say this. if you complaining about stuff all the time, it's only a matter of time that you can't be around me now. You can complain a couple times.
Absolutely. But after a while,
you can't stay.
Nope.
You can't stay. You got to go because I can't be around no Debbie Downers for too long because that energy starts shifting and I don't need it over here and I gone somewhere with that.
Yep.
But you have continuously, when there has been adversity, when there has been things that some people would take and say, I can't do this, you literally have turned lemons into lemonade. And you have always shown me how you know how to see the positive and things. So to see where you are to me is of no surprise. However, I want to celebrate you. In this Women's History Month, you are someone to me that I am so grateful to call my cousin in love and my friends as well. You are a success story. May God continue to bless you endlessly, bless your family, and not just bless your children, but your children's children, Crystal. Keep going. You are inspiring so many people. And every day you get up, like you said in the beginning, you're choosing change, you're choosing to make a difference, and you're choosing to help change someone else's life. I'm so proud of you. I am so, so, so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. You know, I say I'm purposely positive, and I'm saying I am on purpose being positive. There are many days I can wake up and not be positive.
Yeah.
I am choosing to be positive. I'm choosing to see the light in it because I know that when I say I want God's light to shine through me, right? I can't do that and be negative and be angry I have moments of anger and moments of sadness, but I live in that, and then I see a positive, right? Because I know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I heard Eddie Murphy yesterday actually say something on a talk show, and he said, when you wake up, give yourself a little dance, right? He said, start dancing. You know why? Because you winning. You winning.
Yeah, I like that.
And I was like, I love it. And today, I woke up early and I just started. I'm winning. I'm winning. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I woke up. I still have an opportunity to continue to strive and to do the things that I desire to do. So I'm winning.
You're winning.
That's how I want to look at it. That's how I want to see it.
Winning. Yep. Hashtag winning.
Right. My last quote is from Madam C.J. Walker. She says, don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them.
Yes.
Get up, get active, and get it together. It's G time, y'all. Have a blessed day.
Bye.